Hey guys, thanks for checking out my channel. It's Mrs. Balance Sheet, also known as Mima. I've been wanting to come on here and give a quick update about life after the CPA exam. Um, you know how you get reminders? I don't know, actually, you know what? A family member called me, which I thought was super sweet, to congratulate me on my 1 year anniversary of being done with the CPA exam, which was like around June or July. And so I just want to give you guys an update on what I've been up to since passing the CPA exam. So the first thing is, of course, after getting all my passing grades and just feeling the joy of being done with it, I had more free time. So I wanted to just spend more time with my family, catch up with friends that I hadn't seen because I was studying. So that was really fun to do. And I actually, my husband and I planned a congratulatory party to celebrate being done with the CPA exam because for anyone, I mean, it's a major life accomplishment, and it was the last thing on my list of my time capsule that I wrote to myself when I was in college, as far as like life goals that I wanted to accomplish. So having more free time, celebrating. I went through that phase. I think that was like a 3 month period of just like a lot of date nights with my husband, like a lot of just going out having fun, concerts, and just having fun and doing the things I couldn't do because I was studying. So after I did all of that, then I had to figure out how to get my actual license. I knew getting my actual CPA license was going to be a challenge because if you haven't watched any of my previous videos, I am an entrepreneur. I have my own accounting and tax firm, and I had it for 8 years. Well, 8 years prior to passing the exam, and I live in Georgia. So whatever state you live in, that's where you apply for your actual CPA license after passing the exam, and of course after getting the educational requirements, which I don't even think you can take the exam without the educational requirements, the hours that you have to have above your bachelor's degree. But I'm not sure. So don't quote me on that. Every state is different. So you really have to read and find out what applies to the state that you want to get licensed in. So when I began this journey, I live in Georgia, so I assumed I was going to get licensed in Georgia, but Georgia changed their licensing requirements. So they now require you to have experience under a CPA precisely 1 year prior to applying for your license. They have some exceptions, but I did not qualify for any of the exceptions. A lot of the exceptions were like related to like if you had any medical issues, if you had a baby or military. I didn't qualify for any of the exceptions. So I knew that I would have to get my license someplace else in another state, because going back and working under a CPA that's not something I wanted to do. That's not something I could do because I already have an existing successful business. And I already had the experience under a CPA because I worked 10 years under CPAs, like when I was in corporate America, and I got my bosses to sign off on it. But being that they changed the requirement, it was no longer, valid. So I did a lot of research, and I was able to find a few states that require, of course, you have to have the number of hours under a CPA, but they don't have a restriction as far as the time period that you earn the hours. So I want to say there were probably about 15 states that I could have applied to, but I actually decided to apply the District of Columbia, DC. So I applied there, and I got my last manager, well, director, to sign off on my experience. And I was approved. Their process is online to apply. Is very straightforward. You can check the status. They require documentation of, you have to get your scores transferred if you didn't apply to take the exam in that jurisdiction. So I had to transfer my scores from Georgia to DC. And I would say the length of time from the initial application process to actually getting my license was like about 6 to 8 weeks. And you can check the status online. So that was really, really helpful to be able to do that. But yeah, so I applied in DC. So I am licensed in DC, and my CPA license number is, what is it? CPA 921329. And I have it up in my office here. I'm at home, and also in my office outside of my home. So I went through that 6 to 8 weeks to get my license. And once I got my license, I just felt such a relief. It was just, when you work towards something for so long, and I felt the relief when I passed the exam, but like getting my license, it was just like, the cherry on top. So, I got my license probably, I think November 7th of 2019. And so, of course, after that, we have the holidays, and I enjoyed my holidays now that I was done with the CPA exam, but of course, started to prepare for tax season, somewhere around like December, January, you get clients start to reach out to you, and it starts to get busy. So let me just back up. This was my first tax season as a licensed CPA. So prior to that, I was a CPA candidate, which of course means that I qualified to sit for the CPA, but I had not done so and passed it. So this is my first tax season as a licensed CPA, and I was excited to see the difference. And I'm not going to make this video long, but I just wanted to let you, thanks for watching, T. Sanders. Okay, thank you. What study material? I used Wiley CPA Excel, and to pass the CPA exam, someone asked a question, so that's why I'm answering it. Yeah, I used Wiley CPA Excel. I really liked it. I love that the material is in bite-sized pieces, so you can study on the go, or you can, sit and study for an extended period of time. So then they have like the app that really helped me, as far as you can take the quizzes on the app and it syncs with what you're doing online. So yeah, I'm a fan of Wiley CPA Excel. I also used Ninja Notes just as like near the end of the exam. I had my own notes that I was taking, but just to get like another reference of notes. Yeah. So, okay. Okay. Yeah. I'm answering another question. So I'll read you guys a question. T. Saunders says, that's what I'm currently using, but sometimes I get overwhelmed and I have FAR next month. So that's the CPA exam. It is overwhelming, but don't be overwhelmed. That's the advice that I will give you. I know it's easier said than done, but here's how I think about the CPA exam. If you're starting a journey, it's something you want to do. So you just have to be determined that you're going to pass. And that's how I was. Of course, I wanted to pass as soon as possible, but the CPA exam, you have to put in the hours of studying to really get the results that you want. So for FAR, I struggled with FAR, and I'll share this with you quickly. I struggled with FAR, the simulation. I kept running out of time with the simulations. So if you're taking FAR next month, I would definitely advise you to get in as many simulations as possible. And the more you work on the simulations, the faster you're going to complete it during the exam. So my challenge with the exam was not like the content, like not knowing it. It was just like working through the simulations and finishing on time. Like when I didn't pass the CPA exam, when I was taking FAR, it was always because I ran out of time with FAR. And I had to take FAR, I can't remember. Okay, I took FAR 3 times, and then I ended up passing on a 4th try once I let go of the multiple choice. I know it sounds crazy, but I like flew through the multiple choice so that I can have as much time as possible on the simulation. And once I did that, that's when I passed. Okay, and someone else asked a question. Jared Parker says, do you have videos on how you started your firm? I don't have videos, but I can make them. I definitely want to get more content out. And since this video is about life after the CPA, I'll definitely let you know how I started my firm and some of the challenges that I faced early on. I'll definitely share that. So I was talking about, so life after the CPA exam. So life after the CPA exam does, include the effects of my firm. So after passing the CPA exam, like I said, I wasn't sure how it would actually affect my firm because it was a success already. But I will say that even with, everyone knows, the COVID happened and all the businesses shut down. But even with the challenges of COVID and everything being shut down, my firm grew tremendously to the point where I had to turn down clients, which was amazing to me. Like, I've had my business, this was my 9th tax season, and I've always just maintained. I advertise. Some people don't have to advertise. I've always had to advertise to keep the clients coming in. But I will say this year I barely advertised, and I wanted to do more blogs and giving more tax tips on my business website. And I thought that would bring people in. But just Google searches. I mean, people that came to me, they just searched, found me, and I have a lot of good reviews already on Google. So I definitely attribute having my CPA license to the growth I've had this tax season. I haven't even had time to really sit down and measure the growth, but I can easily say that I've had at least 50% growth in the quality of clients that I'm getting. I deal with a lot of small businesses and individuals. Really, I don't really have a niche, but I will say middle class families and maybe not really upper, but maybe upper class, a few clients. But then you always get the stragglers who come in and they want to price shop, and they want to kind of don't appreciate the value of an accountant. And I would say that I was able to turn down those clients and work with clients that really understood what I could bring to the table. So that's it, guys. I'm not going to make this video extra long, but I do think that having my CPA license already has been a tremendous bonus, and I've seen the benefits already. Of course, if I was in corporate America or public accounting, the results would be different. So as an entrepreneur, to tell you the truth, I wasn't sure if it would make a difference. Getting my CPA license was all about me. That was something that I did 100% for myself because it's my goal. I've been an accountant at that point for like 18 years and had my master's degree for like 10 of those years. So I qualified, and actually just finishing was just a goal that I had. So I didn't know how it will affect my firm. It was just something I started and I wanted to complete. So I'm glad I was able to do that. And to any of you, I always like to encourage people who are taking an exam. That's why I do these videos. But if any of you are, out there and in the process of testing, just stay positive. I feel like 50% of doing anything in life is believing that you can, and then the other 50% is actually executing and walking through the steps. So once you believe that you're going to pass, you will. Just be determined. Don't be discouraged. There's a lot of great resources out there. When I was testing, I was a part of, I did, there's a few Facebook groups that were really helpful. They actually are separated into like the part that you're studying for. So they have Reg, B, C, FAR, you can join a Facebook group for each section that you're studying for. So I found them very helpful, venting to other candidates, and even some people ask questions. So I don't think I ever, asked a question, but I just found it helpful because a lot of times, I didn't have many people that I can talk to while I was testing. And then another group that I was a part of was the Ninja CPA. I hope that's correct, but it's Jeff Elliott's group. Yeah, I think it's called Ninja CPA because I purchased their Ninja Notes as a supplement to Wiley's CPA Excel. And I'm not dissing Ninja CPA or anything like that, but I really didn't find the notes useful. I really just wanted like a reference to compare my notes, and it was like a really condensed version. So for me, Ninja wouldn't be something that I could use to study. I look at it as a supplement to whatever you're using to study, and it served that purpose, but that's it. So, and I only purchased Ninja when I was studying for FAR. That's it. All my other parts, I just used Wiley CPA Excel. So continue studying. Best of luck. And I do intend on making more videos. It was one of my 2020 goals. So I will share more videos on how I studied and just, highs and lows of studying for the CPA exam. But thanks for watching. Bye.